Hello and good morning, everyone. I just was outside and I did a brief live video out in my backyard, right here on the water. So if you saw that, I apologize if the picture quality wasn't that great. Here on the island, here on Dauphin Island, we don't have the best cell phone reception. It's getting better, but it still doesn't put out a really good high quality live video. So it's best if I record them and then download them. But I figured I would say good morning. But let's get right into Tropical Storm Sally and discuss some good science behind it and figure out where we can all agree or disagree where this storm is going. Real quickly, a big shout out always to my lifelong brother and weather forecasting, Mike Eder. We've been doing this since we were very young, 10, 11 years old. We followed these things. We were surfers growing up, so we would always track these things, and it just became a real big passion for us. Shout out to Google Master, Mara as well, that's been commenting, and as well Amy Schneider out there that was commenting yesterday. But let's get right into it. So here's the latest forecasted track by the National Hurricane Center. The latest update, by the way, actually had the pressure drop again. When I got up at around 4:30, the pressure was 1,001 millibars. It was 1,004 millibars yesterday. It was 1,001 at 4 o'clock this morning. And the Weather Channel just did the 5 o'clock update and indicated that the pressure dropped to 996 millibars. So we are located right here where the Alabama-Mississippi line is, and we are out in the Gulf of Mexico. So we're not on the continental United States. We are about 2.5 miles out into the Gulf of Mexico on a barrier island. So this track is very reminiscent of Hurricane Katrina. Hurricane Katrina started, correct me if I'm wrong, but over here, and then it kind of went across Florida, then meandered down, and then kind of came straight up. And again, correct me on that track, but that's how I remember it coming in. Hurricane Katrina absolutely devastated the west end of Dauphin Island. Now, Hurricane Katrina was a much stronger storm, but again, these storms, whether it's a Category 2 or a Category 3, it's not necessarily all the wind speed. It's storm surge, high tide, and how they how they correlate with each other when it makes landfall. So this storm is predicted to make landfall at around 2 a.m. on Tuesday morning. High tide is generally around 5:30, and I checked the phases of the tides, and it incrementally goes up as we move on into the week. So high tide probably at landfall will be around 7 a.m. as this storm pushes even further onto shore, bringing that kind of northeasterly flow into this area. So what does that mean? That means that any low-lying areas anywhere along the Mississippi Gulf Coast, even the Florida Panhandle, as you can see, Mississippi Gulf Coast where Mike Eder is, New Orleans, Louisiana, can potentially be inundated with water. So currently this storm is moving west-northwest at 13 miles per hour. It's just entering the really warm waters of the Gulf of Mexico, which means intensification is going to come relatively quickly. So here's the tropical storm force wind forecast. Again, I am right where you see the state of Mississippi meet the border of Alabama. So right in here. And I can't zoom in any further. I wish I could, but I am out in the Gulf of Mexico, so the dark reds are right on top of us. And again, being a barrier island exposed to the elements, just this graph alone has us getting 70 to 80 miles per hour winds, and then borderline 80 to 90. So this is going to be something that we all need to definitely keep our eyes on. This is a graph here on the right of when we can start expecting tropical force storm winds to get into our area. So it shows here that Monday morning at around 2 a.m. or Monday morning at around 8 a.m. that we can expect those winds here. And again, you can see where it says Monday at 2 a.m. right here. We are on this little tiny island out in the Gulf of Mexico. When Katrina came here, it made landfall in New Orleans. It was absolutely awful here. I was with Mike Eder at his mom's house when we were younger, and it was really bad there. And then Dauphin Island was absolutely changed forever. Now, again, the strength of winds is not forecasted to be anything close to that, but nonetheless, it is not going to be a laughing matter here. I urge everyone on the northern Gulf Coast, from Pensacola across to Gulf Shores, Alabama, Orange Beach, over here Dauphin Island, the Bay Area sides of Mobile, Dog River, Fowl River, over to coastal Mississippi, Gulfport, Ocean Springs, past Christiane, over to New Orleans, Biloxi, and so forth, to watch out. Now, here is the rainfall prediction. This is something that everyone needs to watch out as well. We are, again, I'll see if I can change colors here so we can see it. We are right out here in the water, if you can see that green mark I just made. So we're forecasted to get anywhere from 10 to 15 inches of rain. So 10 to 15 inches of rain on top of 4 to 6 feet of predicted storm surge, on top of tropical storm force winds, on top of, if it is at high tide, is going to be a really, really, really rough go for anyone that's on any of these coastal areas. Anyone, especially on barrier islands, please be careful with this one. This is a setup for a really long and a really kind of arduous couple of days. The momentum is not moving very fast, 12 miles per hour. The pressure, again, has dropped from 1,004 millibars to 1,001 millibars, and now 996. Here are some of the spaghetti models, by the way. This is just one of the models that I like to use. All the models here are pretty much scattered around, whether it's right here where we are, coastal Mississippi and the New Orleans area. But again, it doesn't really matter because that's just landfall. That's where the center of circulation is predicted to come ashore. So if it came across where, let's say Mara or Mike thinks it'll come across, let's draw an X. So here's the X. The right front quadrant is where the worst of it goes, and we are on this little barrier island right out here in the Gulf of Mexico. So this has been a storm that we've been predicting, Mike and I, for a couple of years. Well, really, since what, Katrina? When was Katrina? 2005, I think, something like that. In comments, let me know. I forgot. I think it was 2005, the end of August 2005, if I remember correctly. But if it comes in like that storm did, it's going to be really rough here, and there's no way around it. It's just going to happen. These are the set of models that I like to use the most. It has the GFS, it has the Canadian model, it has the Icon model, and a couple other models. So I like this set the best. I did look at some of the latest model runs, and the Icon model and the Canadian model has the center of circulation actually coming across right here in the Dauphin Island or Alabama state line with Mississippi area. So two models, as I run them, come across right here in this area. So again, that would put kind of the bulk of it on the right side. But again, no one is really caring in a sense of where exactly the center of circulation is. It matters basically where that right front quadrant is, where high tide is, what the storm surge is, and so forth. But these models, a lot of them put it just where a lot of you have been saying, in the Mississippi area, which would even be worse for this island than it would be if it came ashore in New Orleans. But nonetheless, it's going to be a rough go. Last thing, the intensity models. For a couple of days, we've looked at these, and they've kind of moved all around. Google Master yesterday texted me and said, "Hey man, I hate to tell you, but it looks like you're going to get a Category 3." Yesterday, it was up there, and then it dropped back down. Now this morning, they're back up for sure in the Category 1, Category 2 range. And here we have this one model that pushes it up to a Category 3. You know, a couple miles per hour of wind here and there does not make a huge difference. The storm is there. The components are there to cause destruction, storm surge, flooding, to carry away or furniture, blow out windows, etc. It's here, and there's not much that anyone can do about it at this point except to prepare. The latest infrared and vapor radar, sometimes it takes a minute to load. So let me see if I can get it coming up. So you see the dark reds. If you watched the video yesterday, you can see the dark reds really starting to expand. So if this hurricane stays in this type of pattern, moves up and then curves north, look how big the storm is. So if that's the center of circulation, I mean, you're talking people all around in this area on that eastern side are just going to get absolutely punished. So again, that's why I don't pay much attention to where the exact center of circulation. No one can forecast that. The Weather Channel moves their cones and shifts their forecast, and their weather people move from one town to the other as it shifts. But this storm, again, it's huge. It's moving slow. It is something to look at. So everyone, please be safe. I'll do weather videos periodically throughout the day. I do have to get some work done earlier this morning and then head off to the store to get some materials to prepare. So everyone, much love. Watch out for this one. Keep your eyes out. and hopefully it's not as bad as we think it's going to be here. But it will be. So much love to everyone. Take care, and I'll do a video sometime around lunch and give everybody another update. All right, take care. Appreciate it. Thanks so much for everything, and we'll see you next time. Put in comments where you think it will go, your thoughts. I'll give you shout outs on videos. As we've been doing, again, we have passion about the weather, and I know a lot of you worldwide have passion about the weather too. So if you would like to give me your forecast, your thoughts, where you think it will go, I'll definitely mention on the next update. Please subscribe, by the way. It just, it helps out. Give it a like, and thanks again, and we'll see you next time.